World AIDS Day is an opportunity for every community and individual to honor the more than 32 million people who have died worldwide from AIDS-related illness. December 1st is a day for voices to unite by sharing experiences, remembering those lost, and standing together in the fight against HIV. Each year, on December 1st, the world commemorates World AIDS Day. People around the world unite to show support for people living with HIV and to remember those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses. Each World AIDS Day focuses on a specific theme, which this year will be Take the Rights Path. This year's theme joins a growing list of challenges that World AIDS Day has alerted people to globally. Founded in 1988, World AIDS Day was the first ever international day for global health. Every year, United Nations agencies, governments, and civil society join together to campaign around specific themes related to HIV. Awareness-raising activities take place around the globe. Many people wear a red ribbon, the universal symbol of awareness of, support for, and solidarity with people living with HIV. People living with HIV make their voice heard on issues important in their lives. Groups of people living with HIV and other civil society organizations involved in the AIDS response mobilize in support of the communities they serve and to raise funds. Events highlight the current state of the epidemic. World AIDS Day remains as relevant today as it's always been, reminding people and governments that HIV has not gone away. There is still a critical need for increased funding for the AIDS response, to increase awareness of the impact of HIV on people's lives, to end stigma and discrimination and to improve the quality of life of people living with HIV. The world can end AIDS, if everyone's rights are protected. With human rights at the center, with communities in the lead, the world can end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. The substantial progress that has been made in the HIV response is directly linked to progress in protecting human rights. In turn, the progress made through the HIV response has galvanized broader progress in realizing the right to health and strengthening health systems. But gaps in the realization of human rights for all are keeping the world from getting on the path that ends AIDS and are hurting public health, and now a surge in attacks on rights is threatening to undermine the progress that has been made. Ending AIDS requires that we reach and engage everyone who is living with, at risk for or affected by HIV, especially including people who have been most excluded and marginalized. Gender equality is an essential element of an approach to AIDS that is grounded in human rights. Acceptance, respect, and care are vital. Laws, policies, and practices that punish, discriminate against or stigmatize people, because they are women or girls, or from key populations, or from other marginalized communities, obstruct access to HIV prevention, testing, treatment, and care. So do laws, policies, and practices that hinder the work of people who are providing vital HIV services for affected communities or who are advocating for reforms. The path that ends AIDS is a rights path. Upholding the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights, and fostering inclusion of all communities, are essential for ending AIDS, for ensuring sustainable development and for human security. There is an urgent need to remove criminal and other laws which harm people's rights, and an urgent need to enact laws and approaches which uphold the rights of every person. The mandates in the international human rights framework have the force of law, and communities have the right to hold duty bearers accountable for adherence to the human rights commitments they have made. To highlight the narrative continuation in UNAIDS messaging, the campaign continues the imagery of a path that leaders need to choose. Here that path is signposted as the rights path. Because change depends not on a moment but on a movement, the message "Take the Rights Path" will not only ring out on one day. It will be at the core of activities that will build up across November. See the release of the World AIDS Day report, entitled Take the Rights Path, on November 26, reach a crescendo on World AIDS Day on December 1, and continue to echo throughout December and beyond. The upholding of everyone's human rights is an essential underpinning of an effective HIV response. This World AIDS Day is a call to action to protect everyone's health by protecting everyone's rights. Leaders need to take the rights path. 2. World Health Organization, WHO, public information officers started World AIDS Day in 1988 as an international day for global health. Since then, it has been observed each year on December 1st. World AIDS Day is a day of solidarity for people around the world who are affected by HIV and for voices to unite by sharing experiences, remembering those lost, and standing together in the fight against HIV. The observance is also reserved as a day to bridge new and effective programs and policies across different sectors around HIV/AIDS. While great strides have been made since the first known cases of AIDS were reported in 1981, the disease remains a public health challenge. World AIDS Day is an opportunity for individuals and communities to honor the more than 32 million people worldwide who have died from AIDS-related illness. Every year, United Nations agencies, federal agencies, and societies from across the globe join together to campaign around specific themes related to HIV. World AIDS Day, designated on December 1st every year since 1988, is an international day dedicated to raising awareness of the AIDS pandemic caused by the spread of HIV infection and mourning those who have died of the disease. The acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS, is a life-threatening condition caused by the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. The HIV virus attacks the immune system of the patient and reduces its resistance to other diseases. Government and health officials, non-governmental organizations, and individuals around the world observe the day, often with education on AIDS prevention and control. World AIDS Day is one of the 11 official global public health campaigns marked by the World Health Organization, WHO, along with World Health Day, World Blood Donor Day, World Immunization Week, World Tuberculosis Day, World No Tobacco Day, World Malaria Day, World Hepatitis Day, World Antimicrobial Awareness Week, World Patient Safety Day and World Chagas Disease Day. As of 2020, AIDS has killed between 27.2 million and 47.8 million people worldwide, and an estimated 37.7 million people are living with HIV, making it one of the most important global public health issues in recorded history. Thanks to recent improved access to antiretroviral treatment in many regions of the world, the death rate from AIDS epidemic has decreased by 64% since its peak in 2004, 1.9 million in 2004, compared to 680,000 in 2020. World AIDS Day was first conceived in August 1987 by James W. Bunn and Thomas Netter, two public information officers for the Global Program on AIDS at the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. Bunn and Netter took their idea to Dr. Jonathan Mann, director of the Global Program on AIDS, now known as UNAIDS. Mann liked the concept, approved it, and agreed with the recommendation that the first observance of World AIDS Day should be on December 1, 1988. Bunn, a former television broadcast journalist from San Francisco, had recommended the date of December 1 that believing it would maximize coverage of World AIDS Day by Western news media, sufficiently long following the U.S. elections but before the Christmas holidays. In its first 2 years, the theme of World AIDS Day focused on children and young people. While the choice of this theme was criticized at the time by some for ignoring the fact that people of all ages may become infected with HIV, the theme helped alleviate some of the stigma surrounding the disease and boost recognition of the problem as a family disease. The joint United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS, became operational in 1996, and it took over the planning and promotion of World AIDS Day. Rather than focus on a single day, UNAIDS created the World AIDS Campaign in 1997 to focus on year-round communications, prevention, and education. In 2004, the World AIDS Campaign became an independent organization. Each year since 1988, popes have released a greeting message for patients and doctors on World AIDS Day. In 2016, a collection of HIV, rabies, COVID and other respiratory viruses NGOs, including Panagia Global AIDS and the AIDS and Rights Alliance for Southern Africa, started a campaign to rename World AIDS Day to World HIV Day. They claim the change will emphasize social justice issues, and the advancement of treatments like pre-exposure prophylaxis. In the U.S., the White House began marking World AIDS Day with the iconic display of a 28-foot, 8.5 m, AIDS ribbon on the building's north portico in 2007. White House aide Stephen M. Levine, then serving in President George W. Bush's administration, proposed the display to symbolize the United States' commitment to combat the world AIDS epidemic through its landmark PEPFAR program. The White House display, now an annual tradition across 4 presidential administrations, quickly garnered attention, as it was the first banner, sign, or symbol to prominently hang from the White House since the Abraham Lincoln administration. Since 1993, the President of the United States has made an official proclamation for World AIDS Day. See section #US Presidential Proclamations for World AIDS Day for copies of those proclamations. On November 30, 2017, President Donald Trump along with local community college students proclaimed World AIDS Day for December 1. All the World AIDS Day campaigns focus on a specific theme, chosen following consultations with UNAIDS, WHO, and a large number of grassroots, national and international agencies involved in the prevention and treatment of HIV/AIDS. As of 2008, each year's theme is chosen by the Global Steering Committee of the World AIDS Campaign, WAC. For each World AIDS Day from 2005 through 2010, the theme was Stop AIDS. Keep the Promise, designed to encourage political leaders to keep their commitment to achieving universal access to HIV/AIDS prevention, treatment, care, and support by the year 2010. As of 2012, the multi-year theme for World AIDS Day is Getting to Zero, 0 new HIV infections, 0 deaths from AIDS-related illness, 0 discrimination. The U.S. federal theme for the year 2014 was Focus, Partner, Achieve, an AIDS-free generation. The themes are not limited to a single day but are used year-round in international efforts to highlight HIV/AIDS awareness within the context of other major global events including the G8 Summit, as well as local campaigns like the Student Stop AIDS campaign in the UK. The world can end AIDS, if everyone's rights are protected. With human rights at the center, with communities in the lead, the world can end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. Some information on this disease. AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. AIDS is caused by a virus called the Human Immunodeficiency Virus, HIV. Tests for HIV look for these antibodies in your blood or mouth lining. You can get infected with HIV from anyone who's infected, even if they don't look sick and even if they haven't tested HIV positive yet. Infection passes through blood, vaginal fluid, semen, and breast milk of people infected with HIV. Most people get the HIV virus by having sex with an infected person who is not on treatment and has a detectable viral load, sharing a needle, shooting drugs, with someone who's infected, being born when their mother is infected, or drinking the breast milk of an infected woman. Getting a transfusion of infected blood used to be a way people got AIDS, but now the blood supply is screened very carefully and the risk is extremely low. The disease generally starts within a few weeks of HIV infection. Flu-like symptoms such as fever, sore throat, and fatigue can occur. Then the disease is usually asymptomatic until it progresses to AIDS. AIDS symptoms include weight loss, fever, or night sweats, fatigue and recurrent infections. There is no way to clear HIV from the body. Antiretroviral therapy can prevent or reverse the damage to your immune system. Most people stay healthy if they stay adherent to ART. Other drugs can prevent or treat opportunistic infections, OIS, which are generally affect HIV patients. It is a chronic disease and can last for a lifetime. On December 1, WHO joins partners and communities to commemorate World AIDS Day 2024. Under the theme Take the Rights Path, My Health, My Right, WHO is calling on global leaders and citizens to champion the right to health by addressing the inequalities that hinder progress in ending AIDS. Thank you for watching this video.